Vittoria? This is Maximilian Kohler. Have you found the antimatter yet? Max? You're okay? I saw the news. There was no mention of CERN or the antimatter. This is good. What is happening? We haven't located the canister yet. The situation is complex. Robert Langdon has been quite an asset. We have a lead on catching the man assassinating cardinals. Right now we are headed. Ms. Vetra, Olivetti interrupted. You've said enough. She covered the receiver, clearly annoyed. Commander, this is the president of CERN. Certainly he has a right to. He has a right, Olivetti snapped, to be here handling this situation. You're on an open cellular line? You've said enough. Vittoria took a deep breath. Max? I may have some information for you, Max said. About your father. I may know who he told about the antimatter. Vittoria's expression clouded. Max, my father said he told no one. I'm afraid, Vittoria, your father did tell someone. I need to check some security records. I will be in touch soon. The line went dead. Vittoria looked waxen as she returned the phone to her pocket. You okay? Langdon asked. Vittoria nodded, her trembling fingers revealing the lie. The church is on Piazza Barberini, Olivetti said, killing the siren and checking his watch. We have 9 minutes. When Langdon had first realized the location of the third marker, the position of the church had rung some distant bell for him. Piazza Barberini. Something about the name was familiar. Something he could not place. Now Langdon realized what it was. The piazza was the site of a controversial subway stop. 20 years ago, construction of the subway terminal had created a stir among art historians who feared digging beneath Piazza Barberini might topple the multi-ton obelisk that stood in the center. City planners had removed the obelisk and replaced it with a small fountain called the Triton. In Bernini's day, Langdon now realized, Piazza Barberini had contained an obelisk. Whatever doubts Langdon had felt that this was the location of the third marker now totally evaporated. A block from the piazza, Olivetti turned into an alley, gunned the car halfway down, and skidded to a stop. He pulled off his suit jacket, rolled up his sleeves, and loaded his weapon. "We can't risk your being recognized," he said. "You two were on television. I want you across the piazza, out of sight, watching the front entrance." "I'm going in the back." He produced a familiar pistol and handed it to Langdon. "Just in case." Langdon frowned. It was the second time today he had been handed the gun. He slid it into his breast pocket. As he did, he realized he was still carrying the folio from Diagramma. He couldn't believe he had forgotten to leave it behind. He pictured the Vatican curator collapsing in spasms of outrage at the thought of this priceless artifact being packed around Rome like some tourist map. Then Langdon thought of the mess of shattered glass and strewn documents that he'd left behind in the archives. The curator had other problems. If the archives even survived the night. Olivetti got out of the car and motioned back up the alley. "The piazza is that way. Keep your eyes open and don't let yourselves be seen." He tapped the phone on his belt. "Ms. Vetra, let's retest our auto dial." Vittoria removed her phone and hit the auto dial number she and Olivetti had programmed at the Pantheon. Olivetti's phone vibrated in silent ring mode on his belt.